last one. Let's see how it looks. So I'm going to do a little live cable figure review. I've had this figure for about a week and a half now. My buddy Eric Sarton got it for me. How come it doesn't? And I've been wanting to review it. So I'm gonna wait for you guys to let me know how that video quality is. And if the video quality is poor, I think I just may kill it and try some other forum to do it, maybe Instagram or something. Hey, what's up, Demar? If I'm pronouncing that correctly, or is it Damar? What's up, Eliab? What's up? This is the second go around actually of this. Let's see. Man, it looks pretty darn blurry. No, no. I think it cleared up. So I'm gonna get off of here. See if getting off the internet there will. How are you guys seeing it on your end of things before I start opening this package up and talking about this figure? All right, Demar, I got it. Thanks for joining us. The first go around about 4 minutes ago, we had 10 people at the start. I guess I'm not sure if you guys have this figure or not, but since you're here, let's get going. I don't want to waste your time or mine. And if you've seen me, where I've been working on these guys for a while, these two. This wave has been pretty darn good. I don't know if you guys have this or not, but I ended up getting this cable. I also got this Deathlock, and I got this, and I got the Red Deadpool from the wave. Man, this is a very strong showing. The Build-A-Figure looks pretty cool. How many of you guys have this figure already? What's up, Bill? Hunter McKinney. Do I have Eric Killmonger? No, I don't. That is a cool looking figure though. I passed on him. I think I'm gonna play the long game on that figure because I see him all over the place. So I think that's eventually going to go on sale. And you know, I've been watching what I'm spending this year. I'm hashtagging it Brockonomics. Un nerd boricua. ¿Qué pasó, chico? Yeah, Bill Thomas says he loves this wave. What's up, Fantasia en Realidad? What's crack-a-lackin'? Did you guys see that new wave that they announced? I'm popping all these things out right here. Let's get down his plastic prism. Let me just stand them up real quick. And then I'm going to talk about the accessories and interact with you guys. All right, so let's start with the weapons. The weapons, you have this like double barrel pistol, which looks pretty darn good, actually. I think that's just the plastic. There's no paint on it. I'm not expecting these to have paint. This is like a Gatling pistol. Pretty cool also. And this futuristic gun that fits the cable look pretty well. He's got a port back here to put it on, so I'm just gonna put him there. And then the Build-A-Figure piece is the Sasquatch. And looking at, I like the color and the highlights on this. It looks like it's going to be a pretty tall figure. I know people have complained that it's not big enough to be a Sasquatch. It would have been cool if it was bigger. I like really large figures. So let's hit up the chat real quick. Bill Thomas says he did prefer this. That's right, Hunter McKinney, Brockonomics. What's up, Unboxing Art? Thanks for joining us. So this new legend that came out, I was thinking, what was the one that I? Now I'm having like an old man moment. Can you guys throw it down here? Some of the figures that were on that wave. Oh, it's like the Marvel Universe. What was the one? Oh, there was Malekith on it. There's the blonde haired Black Widowed, Captain America. But there was another figure in that wave. Maybe Malekith. I've been reading the Mighty Thor series, and that's been pretty good. Malekith is a cool bad guy. I think that one's a little doesn't look like the Malekith I would want. I think Malekith for me is more of a thin individual. All right. Well, let me get it. Let me get into this, and I'll start going down the chat. And it's a little bit harder for me to monitor because I'm doing it on my phone, and I'm afraid that if I pop up my iPad to read the questions, I am not going to get as clear of a picture as it's coming through right now. So my initial impressions, I saw this guy about a month and a half ago at a Toys R Us. A guy beat me there by like 5 minutes, and he bought the entire wave, and they only had one. So I really liked them. It was the impression out of the box is really good. I know some people have had QC issues with the boot cuffs, or the boot cut, I should say, and this one does not have those issues. It doesn't have that separation, and I think that comes from maybe the peg having some flashing. So if you guys are having that difficulty with your boots, that there's a separation here, just heat this part up, pop the boot off, and well, shave off, see what's not sitting right on it, that's not giving you that connection. I don't like the boot cuff. I don't like this boot cut. I don't find it necessary. I hate it. I hate it on figures like this. I love the body mold, but I don't dig that it does that. So let me run down the figure overall. I really like the head sculpt. Looks pretty good. He's very square jawed. Somebody was saying that I look like him, or that I look like a cable. I think he was just calling me old. I can't remember who was saying it, but it's a very well done head sculpt. I do like the hair, and I know some people also were having some Q issues with how the hair sits on the head. And this figure is looking so far for a QC so good. I think the hair was sculpted very well. I like the paint. It almost looks like there's some shading on it, but it could be just how the light is hitting off the. I really like the color they did. See, this is what I had tried to do with mine. More of a white, and I put some blue streaks in it. I'm not completely done with this figure. As a matter of fact, I just had a piece fall off. Oh well, I'll put that back on later. But back to the figure that I'm doing. I really like the aesthetic of this thing. This figure. It's very reminiscent of the '90s Cable that I got used to. One thing I will say is that if this figure is going to lack anything, it's going to be paint. I obviously this is all this is not paint. This is just the plastic that they molded it in. But aside from that, actually they did do a little bit of paint here. They added the paint where it's done right here in the bullets is done nicely. This is paint right here. It's kind of a floating neck piece. I think this is also, let me see. Yeah, I think this is also just plastic. And then of course you have a little bit of paint here in the white of the teeth, the eyebrows, which is a little bit darker shade of the hair. And then on his scar, there's like almost like a peach colored in the scar. So it's okay. It's okay. It's not great, but it's fine for a $20 figure. Remember that I got to remind myself that when I'm reviewing these types of figures, it's a $20 price point, and that's kind of the standard right now. One thing I will say, it feels like these legs are a little bit on the loose side. And I'm not sure if it's just the mold. Here's the same one. Now, I can't remember if I put Future Floor Polish on this guy or not. But this was the oh gosh, Nuke's body, or those that was Nuke's legs, and I combined this one with the Marvel Select upper body. But these are the Nuke legs. They're a little bit on the loose side, but not terribly loose right here in the hips, and that can be easily fixed just with a little bit of Future Floor finish, and that's it. This piece is loose, and I'm sure it can be removed somewhere. It looks like I can take it off right here. I'm not going to take it off right now, but it looks like this can come off if you want them to pose this guy without that. And yeah, that's my reaction. As far as that, like this guy doesn't have to be superposable, so that's not doesn't bother me terribly much. Let me see. No, that's not the gun that's going to go there. Is this the gun that goes in here? I guess that's like a holster for that gun, maybe. I wish this would have came with a knife, like some of the other ones did. I'm planning on repainting this guy eventually. When I'm done with my other cable projects, I'm going to have a ton of cables. I do like the character a lot, and especially because he looks like when I read comics back when I was a child. So that's my thoughts on him. They look good, and you know, double jointed knees, etc. You're gonna get your typical ankle rockers. You do have a waist joint and ab crunch that crunches pretty well and goes back pretty well. But it will look a little bit off. These pieces will look a little bit off if you try to pose them with the waist all the way down or all the way back. See, it doesn't stay on. I guess it's not intended to do that, but just for your typical heroic pose that you can get this guy in, he's going to be just fine for that. And he is a good looking. He is definitely one of the better Marvel Legends that has come out. I think that is the best one from the wave, in my opinion. Even though this Deadpool's pretty cool. Actually, this whole wave's pretty good, and I really like this. And I have the old Toy Biz version. I'll talk about that another time. But repaint, Rob Castro. I saw Rob Castro on the Syndicate. He posted his repaint of this figure, and it made it look like not a $20 figure. So convinced me to get him. And that's it. So let me take a look at the chat, and let me see if I can interact with you guys. I'm going to go run it back up and shout out some of your names that are here. Crescent Moon Animation says so many cables. Yeah, right. For whatever reason, you know, I definitely wanted to, the way it happened, and those of you that have been following my customs, I haven't done any customs. I'm back at work, so I don't have that much time anymore, so I'm limited in my time. But I started working on this custom that I saw. Henry 715, Henry Beltran, his brother Adrian, made him a cable figure mixed just with it was pretty much this guy combined with what this guy has, and it looked awesome. So that's what inspired me to make it. And then I had extra pieces from it, and I didn't want to waste it, as I'm killing all my cables here, knocking them over. Then I ended up sculpting the beard on the cable, so that, you know, this is the head that I started with, and I'm not done with the painting the hair. As you can see, it looks different. That was the inspiration, and then I just went nuts. And then Eric Sarton was able to find this cable, and I guess the street dates are up, so they should be out in force now. Don't pay more than retail for these figures. That's a great looking figure, but it's not worth the price, that the markup that was going on in the interwebs. Obviously, if you're gonna buy one in package, and the person's going to ship it to you. It's going to cost about $7 to $8, depending where you're at in the country from the person shipping it. So expect to pay around $30. I think that's a fair price if somebody's buying it for you and shipping it to you in the case. All right, like I said, I was going to run it down. Where was I? Let me just start over here. There's 12 of you up in here right now. Hunter McKinney says, yeah, it's pretty cool. So was the X-23 figure. Yeah, she did look pretty good. Bill Thomas says, Cable is sick. The Sasquatch is awesome. So Bill likes the Sasquatch. And from what I'm seeing on the shading, they did a good job. Hasbro did a good job on the paint, the way it looks here. What I would do, and I've mentioned this in other times before, you see how it's so shiny? It doesn't. This is not, the leg wouldn't look like this typically on at least as I imagine the Sasquatch to be. It'd be a little bit duller. So just spray some dull coat on it. Just lightly mist it until you take the shine away, and I think it would probably look even better. The places where you would want a little bit more wet, like eventually what I'm going to do with this Cable is I'll be putting some floor shine right there on the lips. Matter of fact, did I do some already? And in the eyes. Yeah, I've done some in the eyes here. I don't know if you can tell off camera, but you don't want the flesh to be so shiny. At least I don't. You want your metals to be shiny. Unboxing Art has an art background, so he knows what to do. Art, I think you should start doing some of this stuff to your figures to improve them. Just my point. I would keep the metal stuff shiny, but then the legs and fur, it shouldn't be really wet. It shouldn't look wet, and that's what I would do to this Sasquatch. So maybe you guys should think about just putting a dull, that doesn't take anything. It's just buying the spray and misting it until that shine is off. Let me see. Damar's looking forward to Deadpool 2. Yeah, the Infinity War, that I can't wait until that movie comes out. Who's my favorite character? Captain America, bar none. He is my favorite superhero. I like his story. Back from, he was part of the Greatest Generation. I like his, I guess his moral values are pretty close to mine. So I really identify with Captain America. Other than, I mean, not the looks and the strength and whatever, but that he's my favorite superhero. And as a matter of fact, I haven't customized a Captain America, but I plan to. I have so many customs planned on doing, but just very little time. I want to do. I think it was. I think he goes by Super Tom Customs. He's the guy I bought the Daredevil head from. Recently, I posted it up on my Instagram at Life with Brock. He did like scale mail for the Captain America upper chest, and Casting Cave for a while had the upper body of Captain America. I probably should have jumped on it, but I wanted to give it a go myself. And if you go check out Super Tom Customs website, he actually shows you how to make that scale mail. And I'm going to give it a go eventually, and I'm going to make a Captain America. I just recently bought from Casting Cave. I bought a Captain America head that I liked. I think it was a Bowen statue that was shrunk, and it looks pretty darn good. As soon as I get it, I'll be posting pictures up on the Instagram. So if you guys haven't been not following me on Instagram, hit me up on there, and that's where I post a lot of my custom stuff. Let me see what other questions were on here. So Christopher Ryan, I answered that question. My favorite character. Marvel, Hunter, if you're asking me, I own a ton of Marvel Legends, and let me show you. Let me see if I can open my program here. This is a program I use. Hold on a second. Let me make sure everything's. Oh, can't show my code, guys. Can't show you my code. That's an old picture. This is the program. It's called My Stuff 2. My Stuff 2, and this is where I have all my collection. I have customs in progress. I have about 34 customs planned. So this is like a database that's searchable, and you can customize it to your own desire. It was you can try the free version, and then if you like it, then you can buy it. So let's go to all location. Let me see my categories. So action figures. There's my action figures, and I have a total of 400. I have a total of 443 figures in my collection. That's a pretty close estimate, not an estimate, but a pretty close number, give or take a few that I may have missed putting in here. But for action figures, for example, let's just go with the first one. I have a first appearance Gray Hulk. Actually, I have a couple of them because I've used them in customs. So if I click it on there, you can see here that, and I love, this is all nerd stuff, guys, that I enjoy doing. The manufacturer, you can get it, but this is what I really like to do. When I purchased it, who I purchased it from, so if I ever have to deal with Sam Nacho, and you guys may know him, I think he's on the Syndicate. I bought it from him for $11.50 shipped. It was a pretty good price for that Hulk, and that's how I can track. One of the other things that you can do is that you can do, I mean, you can do all sorts of searches. Let me see if I can just look up for Marvel Legends. So I type in Marvel Legends, and let's see how many Marvel Legends I have. And it says 80, but I feel like I have more than 80 Marvel Legends. I have way more than 80 Marvel Legends. Or maybe that's all I have. Have I slowed down my collection? 80? No, I have 400. I feel like that's wrong. Let me see. Ultimate Lizard. Did I put Marvel Legends? Oh, I did put Marvel Legends. But anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time, but here's my Transformers. I know I have 89 Transformers. So action figures, most of my action figures are Marvel Legends. So I have over 300 for sure Marvel Legends. This also includes Black Series. So maybe I don't have 300 and my customs. So around that number. How about that? So that's what I use. Oh, coño, almost dropped it. Let's see if I can go back here. Eric Sorensen, what's up, Iron Patriot? Let me see. So I'm way late on these comments. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see what's up here. Hunter McKinney says that me and Shartimus Prime are his favorite YouTubers. That's a pretty big name you threw me next to. I probably don't deserve that, but I appreciate you saying that. Roberto Rojas, what is up? So now it's looking a little bit better than dial-up, he said. What just happened? Brock is going to lay the smackdown on scalpers. Oh, speaking of that, tomorrow's Collector Spotlight is going to be a WrestleMania special. So if you guys are into professional wrestling, I am going to be talking to a guy that knows a lot of professional wrestling. You guys may know him as the Sandman, Harry Sandman. He's on the Syndicate, or he was on the Syndicate. I think he's on the Open Box Mafia. But anyways, we'll be discussing wrestling early tomorrow. Let me see. Christopher Ryan says you should repaint the Marvel Now cap. You do great on that. That's actually the Marvel Now cap. I think I broke up that Marvel Now cap. If I'm thinking the same one, I used them on a Deadpool. So the Deadpool custom that I have, I actually use parts of him on that custom. Roberto Rojas says he uses 90% alcohol to take the shine away. Interesting. That's cool. I didn't know that that's something that you could use to take that away. Be careful with that, because that may also take away the paint. And if you guys are not customizing, if you guys don't have paints, that may be a problem for you guys. But maybe use it on a figure that you don't really care so much about, or it's already kind of beat up. That would be my recommendation. Let me see. We do what we must because we can. The longest name on YouTube, or one of the longest names on YouTube. Did you miss anything? I just reviewed the cable from the Marvel Legend Deadpool wave, or the Sasquatch wave. All right. Oh, Bizarro. So he's on my list to make. I already have a body in mind for him. I actually want to use. I'll tell you what I want to use. I want to use the Savage Dragon upper body from the Legendary Superheroes. That's one of my favorite figures, and I've used that upper body on different customs before, and I dig it. I love it. And I think that upper body would make a good Bizarro upper body. I just need to figure out what head to use. So if you have a good idea for what head to use, I will do that. I also want to do a Superman custom. I already have everything I need for him. It's just I don't have the time. That's what I'm needing for. I'm also thinking. A couple people have asked me regarding this bearded face. I'm gonna try to cast it, and if it comes out something that I would personally use for a custom, then I may make a few of those available to the people that hit me up that want one. All right, let me see. Did you complete the lizard bath? The only figure that I have from the lizard wave is Mysterio, and that's the only one I'm gonna get, right? Yeah, I think that's the only one I'm gonna get from that wave. I will be customizing him. I'm gonna soup him up a little bit. I'm gonna repaint him. I'm gonna add an LED to the dome. I'm actually gonna give him a glass dome, and I'm gonna give him a cloth good cape, a la Action Figure Toronto, who did one from scratch. You guys should go take a look at that guy's work, actionfiguretorontocom. Awesome customizer, and he did a phenomenal Mysterio that I'm gonna take some of his ideas and put it into my Mysterio. Seth Rollins for life. He's one of my favorite wrestlers too, of the newer generation. He's definitely a very good entertainer. Too bad he got injured. Was that 2 years ago? He didn't make it to the WrestleMania. Was it 2 years ago or was it last year's WrestleMania? I can't remember. But they were giving him a pretty big push, and wrestling's not the same since the Attitude Era. Obviously, they've guided it more towards kids, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. I was a kid when I first started watching it, in I think 1984. One of the first matches that I heard about was when Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik for the WWF heavyweight title. And I was into the early '80s wrestling, and then I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Wait, is that how you say it? Hook, line, and sinker? I'm not from this country, remember. But anyways, that expression, I bought into it, and then I started watching the NWO, and it was awesome. So that's a little plug for tomorrow, and I do like Seth Rollins. Christopher Ryan says you could use one of the DCUC heads or DCC heads for Bizarro. I'm gonna have to look at those. No one's casted a head that I've seen so far from all the casting people of something that's good that I would like to do. He want me to. Jacob Gifts wants me to do an Ultraman custom. That's pretty much a Superman, like a darker Superman. That'd be cool too. Bill Thomas asks, "What do I think of the new Silver Surfer?" I like how it looks. I like the at least from the reviews so far. I like how he looks. One of the things that people are already starting to complain in the reviews is that they only added one peg for the surfboard. It would have been awesome that they would have done it like Toy Biz. They would have made part of it metallic, the surfboard metallic, and put magnets on the feet. That would have been pretty dope. I can see a customizer doing something like that in the future. Would have been cool to toe articulation. Marvel Legends don't do that. By the way, guys, I think in the future I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I'm going to learn how to do it well myself first. But from what I've seen, adding toe articulation to figures is actually pretty easy. So that may be a video in the near future that I do, because there's a couple figures like this figure right here that could benefit from toe articulation. Yeah, most definitely. That figure can benefit from toe articulation. Peace out, Chris. Thanks, Hunter. I appreciate the compliment. Punisher's head. Which Punisher, Jacob? That you think would go well for the Ultraman head? Are you thinking about the Walgreens exclusive Punisher? Bill says he still has that magnetic surfboard. Hey man, maybe I just don't think the colors will match. They look kind of close, but maybe you can add some magnets to the feet. That would work. Let me show you how small these magnets are. Wait, wrong figure. Where's my custom? There you go. I was messing around with this arm. I was thinking about doing, because he's got a virus, and I was thinking about giving him an accessory. So I ended up putting a magnet in here. See how small those things are? Very easy to do too, guys. I see how and I can see a magnet going into the foot very easily. They're thin enough, so that could work if you're using the old Silver Surfer surfboard, the magnetic one, or the metal one, I should say. And then you can add, man, I may think about doing that. But the tough part is going to be matching the paint. Crescent Moon says you should do collector spotlight on Mike the Hunter. So I've seen Mike the Hunter's stuff, but I haven't really interacted with him in any social media. And to be honest, for me, I want to interview people that I'm getting to know. Like for example, Henry715. Go check out his channel. I interacted with him through his Instagram because he builds these amazing dioramas. So that's what I want to do. Let me turn it around. Can I turn this around so I can talk to you guys? There you go. What's up, guys? I went to the dentist today, and this whole thing is numb. So Mike the Hunter seems like a great personality, and maybe down the line, I'll run into him and then ask him to do the show. I'm definitely open to it. I really enjoy doing the collector spotlights, and I have a guest list in mind. I have different shows, like tomorrow's show is going to be something different that I'm used to, and that I'm not super comfortable talking about wrestling because I haven't been following it this year. I followed it in the past. I've caught up through, I got the network because I am going to watch WrestleMania, and we're going to be talking about Hall of Fame inductees. We're going to be talking about specifically the matches on WrestleMania, and I want to do different types of shows like that. But most of the shows I'm going to be having are going to be guys that do the toy YouTube, the customs. I want to have one of the guests that I've already talked to that I want to have on is Mike Case. I think I'm saying his last name right, but he does a Transformer. He does Star Wars and Transformers, but Transformers is one of his big things. And he's a fun personality. You guys should go check out his YouTube if you're not familiar with him already. So I want to have him on the. So the whole reason I'm saying is that it's guys that either I've been a fan of and I've watched their stuff, or I'm interacting with on the websites. I want to have people that I've traded and they're just collectors, like Eric Sarton. I've been trying to get him on the show. He's a little bit shy, so he doesn't want to. I don't know if y'all ever come on the collector spotlight, but I want to just interview normal. Like, you don't have to be like popular or whatever. I interviewed Eric Eisner, and he's an ACBA practitioner. He's a mellow, chill dude. If you saw that collector spotlight, but You know, he's not like a famous YouTuber or popular YouTuber. He's on Open Box Mafia, and he likes doing ACBA, and he's a cool dude. So I wanted to have him on the show. So that's the type of person I want to have on here. So if you can get Mike the Hunter to interact on social media and somehow partner me up, I'd be happy to have him on the show. I hope that makes sense. Let me see. Let me catch up to you guys over here. Roberto Rojas said the Walgreens Punisher head would be nice. Jim Lee style Superman head. Yeah. Oh man, I love. As a matter of fact, I have them on my hallway. I have the issue. I use comic books as art for my wall. My wife's cool with it. But I have I have the Unchained Superman, which was Jim Lee's run, and I also have it's the one where he's kissing Wonder Woman. It's a pretty cool cover, so I have that up too. So the exclusive Punisher head, yeah, that would I can picture that being a good head for it's Ultraman, right? Yeah, the magnets. It's underused. People, it's actually fairly easy to use. I'm planning on doing it when I'm using the when I'm sorry, my face is still numb from the dentist. I had two cavities and I was flossing for 6 months straight. But anyway, that Mysterio, the way that Action Figure Toronto, the cape actually attaches. I'm going to use the magnets right there. I'm going to drill into his chest. It's pretty easy to do. Let me see. Mgo. Yeah, Mgo is pretty cool. He's a funny dude. He's a funny cat. He's probably because of the size of his channel, he can't really interact in social media much on Facebook. He's probably not interacting much. He probably just does it straight through the channel. I think he's doing that for a living. Yeah, my case for sure. He's very dope. That guy's funny. What's his buddy's name? I- I'm having him. I know the guy's name. He's funny too. They do bots and shots. Real funny. Peace out, Hunter. What's up, Kairos? What Jose, the original toy hunter, asks, what do you use to keep the head sculpture when you are customizing a figure? I'm not sure if I'm understanding that, Jose. Do you mean like if I'm painting it, what do I put it on? If that's what you're asking, I just put it at the end of a pencil. Depending on the size of the hole, I'll use some putty, not the stuff that turns, not this type of putty, not that type of putty, not the Aves epoxy. I've used blue tack before. I don't really like using blue tack, but what's that other silly putty stuff? You can put it at the end of the pencil, and that way, it makes it comfortable to paint. I've seen others like I mean you can put it, you can even put it here, or something a little bit smaller. Just so you can turn it, because holding on to the figurehead, which I've done before, uh, but it's more comfortable to put it at the edge of the pencil. If that's what you're asking, Jose, if that's not what you were asking, just rephrase your question and maybe I'll understand it a little bit better. Roberto says he uses earth magnets on all your figures. Really, Roberto? What are you mainly using it for? I'm curious. Also, Jose, that was what you were saying, what you were asking. That yeah, that's what I use. I don't have my setup right here because I'm on my kitchen table, or else I'd show you. I don't have my own space to do my custom in. I literally convert uh, a quarter of or a third of my kitchen table to do my painting. My wife is kind enough to let me keep it set up when I was off those couple months. She just let me keep it on here as my workspace, which was cool. So Roberto does it for head swaps. Okay, I actually did that on my Yoda custom because that head kept on falling and paint kept on chipping off. Oh man. So I finally said, forget this. I'm gonna add a little magnet. It was the way that it was sitting, and I didn't want to cut it more because it was gonna make the head look odd. So I ended up using a magnet and it works like a charm, no problem. That's a great idea for head swaps. for sure. Kairos is working on a Jim Lee Storm. You're kind of like Pounds 978. He focuses on like the Spider-Man universe. You're like the Storm expert. How many storms have you done? Jacob, you can pick it. I picked mine up on Amazon, fairly cheap. Let me see. I'll tell you how much I paid for them. I think I got 100 for like maybe 15 bucks, maybe cheaper than that. Hold on, I'll open up Amazon real quick. You guys UFC fans? I will be watching some UFC tomorrow. Really ticked off that Tony Ferguson hurt himself in a freak way. He tore his knee. Oh, I gotta get on the internet. So this may cause some issues with the video, but it's just my face, so it's okay. Let's see. Amazon. Where the heck are the magnets? Did I buy them a while ago? I bought the magnets specifically. Oh, here we go. I paid actually pretty cheap, $11.99. If you're a Prime member, that's what I paid shipped for. It looks for 120, and it's HT Care, 120 pieces refrigerator magnets. And the size that I got. Let me give you the size. Oh gosh, come on. What's the size here? It's 6 millimeter by 2 millimeter magnets. That's the size that I got. Jacob likes UFC. He says that he likes the female fights. There's going to be a rematch that's going to be Joanna, not champion, as one of my favorite podcasters says. Shout out to the one and only mouth of the mixed martial arts realm, Chael Sonnen. He's got a great podcast, man. I listen to that guy. He's my favorite one to listen to. And she's fighting Rose Namajunas, who's the champion right now. And their first fight was pretty good. Rose finished Joanna pretty easily. Kairos asks, what do I think about the new photos of the Apocalypse Wave? They look pretty darn good. And if you guys haven't seen them, let me turn this around and bring it up for those of you that haven't seen. Let me pull it up real quick on Facebook. It's all over Facebook. All over Facebook. And of course, when I say it's all over Facebook, I'm scrolling up and it's not coming up. Hold on, I'm just going to go to Marvel Collectors Assemble, which is a group I'm part of, and I'm pretty sure somebody had done it. Had put the, here we go. All right, check this out, guys. So that was what he's asking about. That looks like it's going to be a pretty strong wave too. This guy, people are going to, multiple man, I think that's going to be a troop builder. I'm really, really excited about getting that Sabretooth. I love the expression. I initially wasn't going to get this Wolverine because the mouth kind of looks weird to me. But I realized that the left side, right side here, it's got a little bit of a curl. That's actually an awesome head sculpt. Initially, I just thought the lips were just straight up and down. But that's money head sculpt right there. I wish they would have done sculpting on the tiger stripes. But that's something that we could do ourselves. Storm looks okay. She looks okay too. Not too hot about this Magneto, except I do dig that head sculpt. I think that's a cool head sculpt, and I kind of like the fact that they're using that hand for an effect. I don't have this Gladiator, and he's an awesome character. He recently appeared in the Thor comic, and then the build a figure, really well done. It looks really good. I don't think I'm going to build it because I've made myself an Apocalypse, and I'm good with the Apocalypse that I have. But I definitely want to pick up the Sabretooth, that Wolverine, and maybe that Gladiator, and the rest I think I'll be passing on. I'm not too keen on female figures for whatever reason. How about you guys? What are you guys looking to get? Let me turn this back around. Man, it looks awesome. You guys may want to pre-order that. I'm trying to think of where do you guys go and get your. I mean, if you want the whole entire wave, might as well pre-order it. That way you don't have to fight with the scalpers, which is a pain in the butt. Roberto says that it's already hit Canada. I know that the Silver Surfer hit Mexico. Nightwalker likes that Apocalypse. Jacob says Sabretooth is killing it. I like that whole wave. They should have done a variant of Storm. That's easy to do though. Just get yourself a head sculpt. You'd have to repaint that figure, and that looks like it'd be a pretty. I mean, it is an easy figure to repaint. It's small, and you wouldn't need that much paint. Over. Oh, because my iPad slipped. Some people pre-ordered it on usually use Big Bad Toy Store, but there's some sellers on the web that do it. I think there's a guy on Open Box Mafia. Go check him out, Robbie Sanchez. I've never used him before, but some of the guys on there are happy with his service. I don't know what type of discount. What's the difference of going through him as opposed to going through a big toy store? I know that, for example, when I buy figures from Japan, or they're Japanese, like Takara, Masterpiece, Transformers. I won't use Big Bad Toy Store anymore or any of the American sites because it just the impound fees, the tariff taxes or whatever, and the markup is too much. And Brockonomics ain't playing that way. So I go straight to some of the Japanese sites, and I've had no problems with them, and they've been great. I think there's another guy that sells them. He's actually part of a Transformer group, and he's on the Realm of Collectors. Crashbox Customs. He does dioramas, and he's also, I think he's got a small business. You may want to go check him out. I don't know what his prices are, but he may be competitive and get you a better deal than Big Bad Toy Store if you're gonna get the whole wave. I'm not sure if Eric Sarton's still in here. I, I think he's gone already. He just popped in and out. But he bought it. He got the wave. He got a recent wave. Matter of fact, that's how I ended up with that cable. He got a wave, and it came out to be like $22 per figure. And when you think you're paying, 18.99 plus tax, that's pretty. That's retail price, and you don't have to worry about the dealing with the scalpers. I think somebody else, if you guys have somebody you use and you want to recommend, go ahead and put them down in the comments. Yeah, the regular Storm, not a Mohawk Storm, that would be pretty cool. Her head sculpt's out there, guys. I think Casting Cave has it. I know the bigger Mohawk one is definitely available. Nightwalker was waiting for. I think this is just it's a re-release of. I think he may have come in an exclusive set a while back. But yeah, I like the Gladiator character. He's kind of like a Superman character. So Roberto Rojas says, "Do I use pastel powders for shading Kairos One does, or he did. So I ended up buying myself a set, and I haven't used it yet. So no experience, Roberto. Kairos has had some good results with the female figures for the like the blush part, and he's been using oils. Rob Castro, did I just get his name wrong? He has Rob's Creature House on Instagram. He's painting, he's doing a like a 1/6 scale Batman figure right now. Amazing. The dude's got some talent, some serious talent, and he uses oils. I don't know, and he's actually a pretty friendly dude. He's on the syndicate, and so far he's answering questions. I mean, if he gets to the point where he gets super popular, he may not be able to handle all the questions. But right now, he's very seems like a very cool dude. Hit him up for painting advice. For me, I'd be glad to pass on any knowledge that I've picked up, but I'm by no means an expert. I'm just I'm a little bit ahead of a new customizer in the painting game and the kit bashing and all that stuff. Kyra says, "Hey Brock, if you like Templar Knights, they came out with this really cool looking Palm Empire Templar Knight 1/12 scale figure. I have no idea who those are. Is that a start? Is that Knights Templar? Is that a? Wait a second. Is that Star Wars or is that some other uh, area of figures? I don't know. Hit me with a link, Facebook, or tag me on Instagram so that way I know what it is. Chris Lusner, what's up? Have you finished that diorama? I'm curious to see what you got going on, man. And when you take some pictures, tag me on it so I can see it. Jay Glitz says Gladiator is the man. Yeah, he recently fought Lady, which was fun. Says, have you seen or are you planning on seeing Ready Player One? I actually wanted to read the book first. And by read, I mean audiobook. So I'm on the list to get the audiobook at my libraries that I belong to. I'm reading right now. It has nothing to do with superhero genre. It's A Man Called OVE, Uwe, and it's pronounced Uwe. What a phenomenal book. You guys want to be entertained? He's this like old curmudgeon, but then you just find out about his history. He's like a walking superhero. Really, really good book, guys. Get it if you're into audiobooks, go to your library, get it for free. By the way, if you guys are into comics, and you probably are, and if you're not into comics but you're into the figures and you just want to find out about your characters, check out Cindy Comics. It's a group that's attached to the Syndicate, and it's all comic related. I recently came across one of the guys that one of the admins or moderators on there. There's a here. How about I just show you since I can. It's easier just to show. There's this app called Hoopla. Let me show you. So there's the Hoopla app. That's what it looks like, and you can connect it to your library, and you can get free comic books. And by free, you can read it. You can check them out for free. So that I just read. I read all these volumes. These are volumes of the Lady Thor books or the Mighty Thor. I'm reading a Cable, and they have a bunch available. You can just go. Let me show you right here. And they're not like the like brand new stuff, but you can get a lot of comic books on this app for free. And free is good, right? I like free. So go check that app out if you're interested in comic books. Kyra says Knights from Fantasy. What's up, Cody? Yes, it has been a while, bro. Built on the whole wave. Definitely going to pre-order the whole wave. Yeah, it looks good. That wave does look good. Oh, Dorkside Toys. Yeah, that's another play. I've never personally ordered from Dorkside Toys, but I know they're a reputable dealer. My face is still numb right here. I had some cavities. 6 months of flossing. I didn't have cavities before, and all of a sudden I get two. What the heck? Roberto Rojas says Comixology does the same thing. They offer free comic books? Or is that you can buy the comic books? I thought. What's up, Brandon? I think I saw your name before and I missed my old man. I saw it and I was talking to somebody else and I forgot. Ronaldo, ¿qué pasó? Chasing Rob, what's up, man? I reviewed those of you that are coming in late. We had a little cable party here. Had a little cable party and reviewed that dude right there. Pretty cool looking figure. He's definitely the highlight of the wave for me. I picked up 3 so far. I picked up 3 so far from that wave and it's definitely worth it. Oh, Robert says you can buy one and you can get a random free comic. That's pretty cool. Nightwalker Gladiator tossed Juggernaut like a rag doll. Really? And what comic was this? Jetta Patrol, what is up? Hey, how come you didn't go to C2E2? I thought you're from that area. Thanks, Jacob. And I was actually, people were trying to convince me to sell one of these cables. I would tell you it's easy to make your own. So I don't know what I'm going to do because I traded for these. So depending on how my Bronconomics is doing, maybe I may do one and I may sell one. But it's so easy to do, guys. Nightwalker's asking Jetta Patrol if he's got any new pops. And if you guys don't know who Jetta Patrol is, you probably do already because he's on the syndicate. His channel is, I think, bro, from what I've seen, you focus a lot on pops. And he's got really good video quality and he's a funny dude. Does some fun stuff with like blowing pops up with a shotgun. At least that's one of the episodes that I saw. Just trying to be like me, right? Right. I'm on my iPhone right here, player. That's about as good as a camera as I get. So Jacob says that it was the X-Men 90s cartoon that he got tossed by Gladiator. Now I know that he's super powerful, but man, is he more powerful than the Juggernaut? That's craziness. What was this? The Juggernaut was the immovable. The immovable. What was his nickname? You guys know his nickname. Oh, really? The Jetta Patrol says he picked up the Black Series Sand Trooper and Dewback. How much was that? Was it over $40? Or was it closer to $60? And what store did you find that in? I know that the waves have been hitting, I think at Targets. People have been picking up the new wave of the Black Series wave at Targets. What's up, Marv? I did. Marv's asking if I sculpt the beard on this cable. I did. I think I don't know if I showed me sculpting the beard on him. By the way, I'm not done painting. This is just the base coat. I was playing around with it, but I need to work on that eyeball a little bit more and the paint here. But yeah, I did sculpt it. I have a few videos of me working on those cables. If you guys are interested in that, go check it out. Oh, come back. Oh, so you Jetta Patrol says he picked it up 65 shipped, and it will be here on Monday for him. So you go check out his channel. I'm sure he'll review it. You'll probably review that. I'm guessing. Definitely looking forward to getting that. I don't know if I want to pay $65. That's more than what the Ghost Rider bike is going for right now. That's going for like 38 bucks or 39 bucks on Amazon. 65 bucks. That do bag better be big for to command that much of a price. Brandon's asking me, what did I do with all those golems? I think I only have one golem. You're going way back. That's when I had my when I had my Lord of the Rings binge that I was going through my collecting binge. Those figures are awesome, man. I love the light up features on one of them, and I remember I was opening. I had gotten one recently in a trade, or I purchased one, and it was a which figure was it? I think it was a Gandalf, where Gandalf the Grey and his staff was lighting up. Juggernaut from the '90s X-Men was that's why I have pictured, and that's when I was reading comics and collecting comics. I still have, I think I may have one up on the wall right now, featured. Was it an X Force? I think he was featured in X Force a lot. He fought with those guys, if I'm remembering correctly. So Jacob says he's seen all the Black Series wave at Target. And what do you guys think of that snow trooper that they got, or whatever? I'm not sure what the heck they're calling them. The one that I definitely want to get is, and of course I'm gonna, because I've been so focused on superheroes, I haven't been, my brain's not thinking Star Wars. The ranks, Grand Moff Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin is the one that I want to get. It looks, I need to have them in my Black Series display. So Jetta Patrol says he thinks it will be less later. I just wanted it now. I don't know, man. You think I feel like people are gonna troop build those things. By the way, speaking of juggernauts, give me 1 second. I want to show you guys this. Let me show you this real quick. If you've been following my channel, I've shown this before. But I didn't like any of the juggernauts that were available, and this is something I kit bashed together, and I just really like how that looks. So this is obviously Juggernaut from the Build a Figure. The head is from the Toy Biz, and same with this neck armor right here. This is where I think that he would have the helmet sitting in there. So because if the helmet comes off, he loses his ability of protection, strength, etc. Or maybe he doesn't lose strength. Does he lose strength? I can't remember now. But this is the Rhino torso, and there you can tell it's Rhino torso from back here. So I may have to work on this. Not looking at it, I don't know if I want it to look all crackly like that because it doesn't really match the arms. But maybe that's okay. I have to think through it. But I kit bashed that figure early last year, and yeah, man, he's got a lot of potential for Juggernaut. I love Juggernaut. He's one of my favorite X-Men villains. Let me see. Bearded Custom, ¿qué pasó? I'm going to be cutting this off in a couple minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. My mouth is still numb, and my stomach's hungry, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat. Silver for Golf, what's up? Yeah, Robert. Robert, are you in one of the Facebook groups? Can you remind me? Or are you on Instagram? Either way, I can't remember if we're Facebook friends or not, but if we're not, hit me up. Same with everybody on here. Instagram at Life with Brock, and that's where I mostly do my progress custom. Anytime I take like toy pictures, I put it up on that Instagram. Definitely want to see that cable, so tag me on that, please. Let me see, I'm catching up. Now we got Nightwalker says, "I'm glad I'm not the only '80s baby here. I'm in the '70s, so I think I'm the older statement right here." Jug's got a toss out to the sea by Gladiator. Nightwalker says, "I'm not liking how Black Widow looks with that hair color. She looks better with red hair." Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, battle damage. That's that's something I can go with on that. It kind of it matches the helmet as I'm looking at it. I gotta see. Once I start putting paint on it, it may be too late, but that may be when I'm sure that what I want to do with her. Jacob, you like the cracks? Yeah, I kind of dig the cracks too. I kind of dig the cracks, and I think what just throwing me off is this isn't part of the uniform. This is just going to be his bare arm. So I think once that skin color is painted, I think we may be okay. Yeah. By the way, this is Senethol painting or Senethol priming. If you can see obviously I didn't do a very, I need to sand these down so I don't get paint rub. And this is like a Senethol priming method. What you do is you spray at an angle up here, and you first start with a wide angle, and you do black, and then you limit your angle, and then you go with dark gray, and then you finish it off with white. And what it typically does, and this is since this was about a year ago, over a year ago now, I think, or what did I say? Early last year is when I did this. So a little bit over a year, and I hadn't really started using this method. And this was one of the first figures that I did this priming method on. It really helps because it gives you an idea of where you need to, where your light spots should be and where it should be darker. See, like it's lighter in the toes than it should be here. And where the shadows naturally would fall. So then you really have an idea of where where you put your base coat, and then when you start building up where the highlights would be. You can kind of tell there. See, it's light here, and as it gets to the lower back, it gets darker, really dark right here in the lower legs, and then a little bit light on the calves. Just a trick that I learned along the way that's been pretty helpful for those of you that enjoy doing customs. All right, so I think I'm gonna end this. Let me just make sure I don't leave anybody out here at the end. Roberto Rojas says, "We're not friends. I just started watching you." Well, bro, if you have a Facebook and you use Facebook, hit me up on there, Brock Rivers, or Instagram. That would be the best way I could see your photographs. We do what we must because we can, says, "I picked up Superior Foes, Spider-Man, Beetle, villains off the Night Jack-O-Lantern." Oh, so you're collecting that wave as you're catching up. Thanks, Jacob. Jacob, my Instagram again, it's just Life with Brock, one word, at Life with Brock, and you can find me on there. It'll be my thumbs up picture. I was a little bit thinner. I gotta lose 30 pounds, fellas. This knee injury really put me back. Roberto Rojas says he was born in 77. Yeah, I got you by 2 years. Still older than you, player. 1975. The Phoenix also came and did Nightwalker's talking about the Phoenix. She was in the, or the bird was in the. Is it a female? Is it supposed to be like a feminine thing? The Phoenix Force, or it doesn't have as a is it a unigender type of thing? I think that because I associate the Phoenix with Jean Grey, that I think of it as a female. But anyway, she made an appearance in the Mighty Thor comic books that I was talking to you guys about. The Jabba vehicle from Hasbro. Bill Thomas. Are you talking about the ship? Oh my gosh, that's expensive and no room. That Juggernaut next to my Apocalypse. I think it's they're about the. I think they're about the same height, if I'm thinking correctly. All right. Can you, James Kobe Gonzalez asks, can you swap heads with the two recent cables? Oh, are you talking about like, oh, I see what you're saying. Like pop this guy's head off? Now, just so you know, the peg holes may not be the same. Let me see. Maybe, let me see. Are they? Yeah, they should work. There you go. It doesn't fit super perfect. It's a little bit on the loosey goosey side for that, but that's not a problem. If you use a little bit of hot glue, it'll work just fine. Let me see how it sits on this one. Since you asked the question. Yeah, this one definitely sits. And actually the skin color is pretty close. You can see it in the naked eye. With the naked eye, there's a difference if you look really hard, but there you go. I just think that this face, though, fits, I think, just with the getup here. Oh, lost his collar. A little bit better. And what I'm not sure if I finished my thought or not. I think I squirreled a little bit. But anyway, if you want to learn how to fit any head on any peg, just go to my custom videos and I show you how to do that. And there's actually, I have a few videos where I show that. Super easy to do. You just need some hot glue and a Dremel to Dremel that out. All right, players, Cody, everybody else, have a good one. Thanks for joining in. I think the people that watch this at the end, hopefully if they're just interested in the cable figure review, they can just look at the first portion of it. Please join me tomorrow for the WrestleMania special. I think we're doing it at 2 or 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. How do I end this? Hit in? X, maybe the X? End.